guys, it is Tuesday, December 3rd. It's 7:25 a.m. I'm running late. I dropped Lavelle off. I came back and started my coffee, swept the kitchen, straightened up the bathroom a little bit. I just got to sweep the bathroom floor, clean out the sink, little things like that, wash the dishes. I'll do all of that on my break, and that's why I'm late. I got back in enough time, but then I started doing other stuff. But really quick, while I'm logging in, I wanted to tell y'all about a dream that I had before. I forget the dream, but I don't have time to, so I'll try to tell it to you on my break while I'm cleaning if I can remember it. That's the problem. It's a crazy dream. Happy Tuesday, Testimony Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Hey, ho, hey, ho. Happy Tuesday. I'll talk to you guys later. I'm going to go ahead and sign in. And I'm going to try to do Vlogmas. So far I've been vlogging. Well, not vlogging, but talking to you guys every day this month. So let's see if we can do it. Not too much different from what I always do, right? Anyway, talk to you guys later. Y'all, I'm on my first break, 9:15 to 9:30. They got the nesting training mixed up again today. We started, then they changed their mind. Now they rescheduled to 12 noon, which gets in the way of my other stuff that I have to do. So it don't look like I'll be getting anything done as far as cleaning up today, which is fine. It is what it is. But I wanted to try to tell you about this doggone dream, but I don't even know if I can remember it now. Can I even remember it? Let's see. Yeah, in the dream. Okay, it started off with church, I think. Right? I guess we were going to church or something. It was definitely at a house that had to do with church. And so my water. Okay, remember Sheena. Okay, so had to do with church. We were in a house. I don't know what was going on. They were preparing for something, okay? And so this guy had pad and pen. Was going to be like he's documenting something. And he has this big like thermal like blanket or something. And at first it seemed like it was a relative of mine, I'm not sure, but they were going to be documenting something, right? And so everybody was like in a hurry. So all of a sudden, it's like, hurry up, we gotta get to this thermal like blanket. So we did. It was just me and this person with this person had this pad. Again, I think it was a family member, I'm not sure. But they were like, oh, it's not doing, I guess it was supposed to close a certain way and it wasn't doing it. And he was like, oh my God, this is not going to work. Oh my God. And so he was rushing and hurrying. All of a sudden, the two people, I guess the pastor and the wife, the first lady of the church, it's like they changed. They were like zombies in a way, and their bodies were red and thin, and they were moving all crazy and kind of slow, but they were moving toward us. It was like maybe some sort of radiation. I'm not sure what it was, but I guess this thermal thing was supposed to keep us protected from that while we're documenting. But because it wasn't working, we were unable to get in there. And I think the person was telling me to get in. I don't know what the case was, but it's like, I'm not going to do it. Go in there and then leave you out here type of thing. So we both are out there. And whatever was going on with them, we started going through the same change because we were, I guess, not protected, not inside this thing. And so now we're changing, and it's like I'm feeling myself changing and moving my head all crazy and weird, and all of a sudden, like, the eyes were starting to go, and it was just the weirdest thing. Okay, how we were moving, and how they were coming close to us, and the closer they got to us, to me, the more I was changing, and so on and so forth. Now all of a sudden we are in the basement, on Huron. We're in that basement, and they're constantly coming toward me. And so in the basement, there's this, when you first walk in, you have like a area that could be set up for washer and dryer, and then to the left of that you have this a toilet, and you have this pole. And so this pole was leaking, dripping water. It was all on the pole. There was water. And so the pastor and the first lady, they go over to this pole, and they start drinking the water from the pole. And all of a sudden they were starting to slowly change back, and then the pastor was like, drink the water. So now we're slowly going over to this pole, and I'm seeing myself licking this pole to get the water. And now all of a sudden I'm changing back to myself, and I woke up. I was like, what? I'm like, it was just, you guys, it was so just the craziest thing. I kid you not. It was the craziest thing, weirdest dream. And I'm pretty sure, like, I felt like, I don't know, it's like, at first it's like I could feel that was me, but once I woke up, I started, getting ready, because I had pretty much been up throughout the night off and on, and I had been up earlier, and so I was like, okay, I'm gonna lay back down for a little bit, because I knew I was gonna have to get up to drop Lavelle to work. So yeah, I got up, and Lavelle was like, Mommy, you take me? I was like, yeah. So I had to hurry up and get myself ready. And then again, I got back in time. He has to be to work at 7. I start work at 7:30, so I immediately, restarted my computer, did everything that I needed to do. Oh, now I gotta pee. But obviously started late because I started doing other things. But I started work on time for sure. But I wanted to share that with you guys. Tell me what you think, and I will talk to y'all later, because I only got a few minutes, and now I gotta run and use the bathroom. Holding my water, as you can see. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye now, guys. I'm finally off work. Look at the mess that is my kitchen. I have to clean, get everything situated here. Okay, get the bathroom. I want to mop in the bathroom, sweep my room, and yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I hope you guys had a wonderful day today. It was indeed a busy day for me with training and everything. Busy day, but blessed day nonetheless. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started here. And yeah, let's go ahead and use this one. I have a lot to do, but shouldn't take long, since it's not like we have a huge space, right? So should not take long. I took this out at the last minute, but it should not take long to unthaw. So I'm just gonna put a little water on it right quick. Don't have time to do anything other than that. Try to let the water run. I'm just gonna put it back up. Hope you guys had a great day today. I really do. Hope you're getting your shopping done, everything that you need to do done. Y'all know, like I say, after October, everything just starts flying by. Some people say after Thanksgiving, man. For me, after October, have any of you guys been shopping yet for Christmas? Some people are probably done by now. I'm one of those people who always say, next year, I'm going to have it done early. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And then nothing ever happens. Nothing that I want to happen ever happens, Alright, guys. When you got a small sink, you just got to make what you got work for you, So, yeah. Trying to get my water very hot. It's getting there slowly but surely. I probably should boil some water because that pan there is pretty greasy. I know this Dawn that I have is amazing, so shouldn't be too hard. But yeah, guys, it was a busy day. Yesterday they were a little, I guess you could say unorganized, kind of, getting back in from the holiday, trying to figure out who needs, more training, who needs this, who needs that, because, with the Thanksgiving holiday, some people had quite a few days off that week. I had two because I had missed that Monday, and then we had Thursday itself off because there was Thanksgiving, so that's 2 days. So yesterday would have been day one that I make up for Monday, and then today would be the last day for me that I make up for, that Thursday. But yesterday, as I mentioned to y'all before, nobody, got this in time, that in time, so obviously we did not have, training yesterday. And then today, again, it was a little, it took a little while to get it all organized. I had a message, but it said that it was canceled, but it wasn't canceled. And so a lot of people still thought it was canceled, so it took a while for people to get in the group. So we were only able to take one call, and then, it was really slow. It was a lot going on, so they decided to reschedule it from this morning at 8 until today at noon. It was going to be from noon to 4, which is when I get off, and then they changed it from noon until 3:30, which was great, because I had 46 patients accounts that I had to deal with for another project, and typically that would be fine, if I wasn't scheduled, to train or anything. And actually, even that would have been fine if it wasn't so much confusion. And so because of the confusion, it took time away from me starting my caseload. So I ended up starting late. So, they were like, I told her, the training's going to be, it's rescheduled until this afternoon. And they were like, well, is that going to be getting in the way of your task? Do we need to, split it up for you, give somebody half? I was like, nope, I got it. I have a good rep, and normally I can get it done without having to go over. If I do go over, it may be a minute or two, 5 minutes, something like that. But because I have a great representative, but I didn't have her today, I had someone else. And the reason why I was okay with that is because prior to even calling out, I read my notes, did my due diligence, And a lot of them I did not even have to call on. Like yesterday, great deal of them I didn't have to call on. Right? Like out of the 46, I think maybe I called on 4 or 5 of them yesterday. And then today I had, I think, maybe 6. I forget exactly how many, but not that many. And so I got it done. The only thing, and I got my notes in and everything. The only thing, oh, that's the cat. The only thing I did not do was, there was one part where you have to go in for all 46 and indicate whether you have to put it in a status so that it can be reviewed. Put it that way. You know, if it was already in a status, a build status, I don't do anything with it. So that's the only thing I didn't do. And I was like, that'll be easy. I could fly through that as long as I got everything else did. So I called, did what I had to do, and then I entered the one list like I'm supposed to do for multis, and then I did my tracker, and then I did my notes. I had all that done like a minute before training. As a matter of fact, I got the notification to sign in for training to join the group, but I still had like less than 5 minutes. So I was able to get that done. The only thing is, I realized when I got done that it was one I was supposed to call on but forgot. Because in the system it said bill that they received the payment. But I didn't see it. So I was like, okay, how do I do this? And I had forgot to call, so I was like, okay, that'll be what I do, the very last thing I do, right? And then part of me was like, I could just leave it. But no, what I did was I rushed and I finished my the last part that I was supposed to do. I did that, and again at exactly 4 o'clock I was done, and I added it to my tracker. No, exactly 4 o'clock I was done, but still that one that I did not do, I had to call on. So I hurried up and I called the young lady, whoever picked up, which her name, I forget her name, but she was really good. She's another young lady that I had before, and she went right in, told me what I needed to know. I documented it, did everything I was supposed to do. I was done by 4:10. So, I was done. And the same thing would have happened yesterday. Yesterday, I wasn't done till almost 5 o'clock. As a matter of fact, they went ahead and put it down as 5 o'clock, hour overtime. And that was not my fault. So I had finished my entire 46 people that I had. I had 46 yesterday too. Like I said, I didn't even have to call on all 46. So I was done pretty early, where I was able to take on 20 more. Right? They had one that was open, it was 20. Now for this particular one, it was a little difficult because the majority of them, a lot of them that I did have, like I said, I did my notes first. There were payments that I had to collect, which was time. But the issue was because Monday was so busy, instead of me being able to get one rep to do all of them, I had one rep. She was able to help me with maybe 6 of them. And then after that, for the rest of them, they had to keep putting me back in the queue. So the rep could only do 1 at a time, maybe 2. And so once that rep finished, she had to throw me back in the queue, the next rep pick up. Right? And it was so funny because sometimes I would get the same rep again. But unfortunately, because it was busy, that's what had to be done. Right? I could have, like she said, maybe somebody could call back at 4:30. I'll get off at 4. Right? I'm going to finish my task. So I was like, that's alright, throw me back in the queue. So I had to keep going back in the queue, back in the queue. Now, I was able to do it. The only thing was, when I finished everything, what held me up a bit was toward the end, the very last call, the guy kept putting me on hold. He wasn't sure what I was talking about. He was a little confused. That set me back. So that 15 minutes make a big difference. You can get a lot done in 15 minutes depending on what you're doing. And so, that set me back. So I probably would have, like I told them, I had anticipated being done. If I was going to go over, I was only going to go over about 30 minutes, right? But because of that, well, it made me go over a little bit longer because I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. And finally, he, like, okay. And I'm like, okay, well, have a good one. I don't want to be rude and hang up because he's still doing his spiel, like we have to do. So I don't want to be rude there. I'll get dinged on that, So, yeah. But, yeah, y'all. Got it done. I got it done. So, tomorrow, we'll do training again in the morning. And then tomorrow will be Wednesday. I don't know if we'll do it Thursday and Friday as well. I guess depending on how comfortable you feel. I feel comfortable in a way with some stuff, but man, it's gonna take trial and error and me just actually doing it for the other stuff. Like, it's just no ifs, ands, and buts about it. You can train and go over and go over and go over all you want, but until you're doing it, until it becomes repetitive, like when I first started. The good thing is it's not so foreign in a way, because of what we already do, but stressful, it most definitely is. Because you don't want to mess up on anybody's account. It doesn't matter who it is, what it is. You don't want to mess up when you're dealing with people's medication, insurance, and things like that. You just don't want to mess up, So yeah. I'm just filling up this water bottle. It's gonna go in the freezer. I'm almost done. I actually almost with the dishes. Now I just have to do the plates, the 2 pans, empty the banana pudding bowl, get that cleaned out and emptied in the garbage, clean the bowl, things like that. At the end, I'm gonna let everything sit and dry, air dry, and then I'll dry it and put it up. I'll let it dry while I clean my mop, and then I'll mop the floor, and then last thing would be then I'll do the bathroom, and then I'll sweep my room. So yeah, stuff that needs to be thrown out. With my silly self yesterday, the bill was finna heat up. he had put a little heat on some deviled eggs, right? That had been in the refrigerator. And I come along in the kitchen and taking and throw it all in the garbage. She's like, Mommy, what you doing? I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't know. I said, anyway, it's been in the refrigerator since, last week, so it needs to go to garbage anyway. He was like, oh my God. I was like, I'm so sorry. I thought, he had, how they do. They take stuff out, they leave it, forget to put it back, or just don't put it back. That trifling crap they do. So that's what I thought he was doing. So I'll go ahead and throw it in the garbage. Make life easier, simpler for me. But that wasn't the case. He just heated it up to eat it. I was like, oh my bad. I picked it up and just dropped it right on the garbage. And it was warm. I thought that it was warm just because he had it sitting on the stove. But no, he warmed it up. I felt so bad. I was like, my bad. But yeah, like I told y'all, I might decide to start back doing Sunday dinners. I used to do that. It's been a while though, but I'm sure definitely thinking about doing that, starting it on a Saturday or whatever, and that way when I come back from church, dinner is made. You don't have to cook on Sunday, because it's already done. It's already done. It's already done. Yeah. So, okay. Just getting my stove back clean because I don't want it to be when I do decide to like seriously clean, like deep clean, it won't be as difficult, you know, because we're doing it on the regular, which we should do anyway. No one wants to come to your house and see your stove filthy. They're gonna be like, I'm not eating over there. You know? Like your microwave. I think one time my sister came to my house and my microwave was filthy. I was like, Lord have mercy. So I make it a habit of once or twice a week getting my microwave clean, making sure it's clean. Yep. I had to get Choco some litter soon. He does have some now, and it actually needs to be changed. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and finish. You guys will probably be listening to music at this point. Okay. You know what, guys? Really quick. Yesterday, when I got, you know, I was tired. After work, I laid down and, basically pretty much went to sleep. But I had the TV playing, so it was on a channel. I forget the name of it, but they were talking about different things that had happened where a child may have called the police on their parent, their guardian. They may not have realized it or whatever, but the child may have been the reason why that particular guardian, parent, whoever it was, you know, jailed. And so I got to watching this, and when I tell y'all, it was very, very interesting. So the first one was this little boy, little Caucasian boy. He's 7 years old, little bitty thing. And the neighbors saw him just walking. And so, of course, they stopped him and everything, checked on him, see if he's okay, so on and so forth. And so, what happened was this little guy missed his school bus. He missed the bus, and he decided to try to walk to school. And it was a good ways, right? And on this road, he did not know how to get there. He was just going to walk, I guess, until he found it. And so the neighbor, he ended up at the neighbor's house, and so the neighbor called the police. Police get there, the little boy's sitting down there talking to him, asking him questions about, you know, what's going on, why he was even out there. You know, he was telling them, I missed my bus, and I'm trying to get to school. And so they were like, well, where's your mom? You know, they was asking him all kind of questions, and there was a couple of times he would say, I don't remember. And the cop was like, yeah, come on, you remember. What about that? And so basically he was telling them that he had gotten in trouble the day before, and he went to bed. He wasn't allowed, he did not eat before he went to bed because, you know, he had gotten in trouble. His mom did not set his alarm. He said normally she does that, but she didn't do it because he had gotten in trouble and he had to get up on his own, and obviously he was late. He missed the bus, and now he's trying to get to school. And they were like, okay, well, we're going to take you to your mom's. And he was like, well, can I just go to school? Can you take me to school? He was like, she said I have to go to school. Like, he was so, I have to get to school. Right? And so they were like, well, you know, yeah, let's take you to your mom's first. And then they was like, yeah, we can take you to school, but why don't you get on the car with me and we'll go from there. And he was like, you're going to take me to school. And he's like, yeah, but let's do this first. And so he gets in the car, And when he gets in the car, his next door neighbor happens to pull up. When they see the cop, the guy gets up and he gets out his car. He pulls up in these people's gangway. Driveway. He gets out and he tells them, "Hey," he said, He gets out and he tells them, "Hey," he said, my wife earlier saw him walking around. He hadn't eaten yet. He had missed the bus, and they had took him back home. But instead of going home, this was his second attempt to try to get to school. So when they took him home, instead of him going home, he left back out to try to get to school. And he said, my mom said I have to go to school. So he was just so worried about not getting to school. And so the neighbor went on to say that, I guess things often happen, right? So turns out when they get to the house, they said they had been knocking on the door. They had been trying to get somebody, mom or somebody. Nobody was answering. They didn't know, what was going on. They couldn't reach anybody. So they ended up going inside. It was a big, beautiful home, y'all. Beautiful home. And there were other kids there. There were 2 other boys there, little ones. And also the cop had asked the little boy, what did he get in trouble for? And he said I guess he was watching his little brother on the trampoline. And he said he stepped away for a minute because of a dog or a cat or something. And he was going to bring the dog or the cat for his brother to see or play with. And he said, and I left him for a minute. He said, but my friend was there. So he said, my friend walked away too. So I guess he had left the baby, his brothers, on the trampoline unattended. Now he's 7 years old, little guy. His baby brother is much younger than he is, and then the one right above the baby, but younger than him, I think it might have been, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4. And the baby obviously was a baby, had a pamper on. And so, they go in the home, they walking through the home, the kids are up, beautiful big home. And they were telling the kids, okay, go back in your room, da-da-da-da. And so they're calling. Sheriff's Department, they constantly, Sheriff's Department. No answer, no response. Sheriff's Department. She in the house, knocked out. She sleep. She wake up, and he's like, well, we've been, calling, your name, so on and so forth, Sheriff's Department, you didn't hear us. And she was like, what's going on? He's like, well, your son, da-da-da-da. And she said, yeah, he's supposed to be at school. They said, well, he missed the bus, and so on and so forth. And they was explaining everything to her, and it was like he didn't eat anything yesterday. And she was like, he normally do eat, but he did not eat yesterday because he was in trouble. That's the first time he ever went to bed without eating, all this stuff. And they were like, well, what was he in trouble for? And so she said the exact same thing the little boy said. And they said, well, you really expect him to watch a baby and he's a baby himself? That's neglect. And she said, no, he asked. He said he wanted to. They said, so basically, they like, because he wanted to. So if he wanted to jump off the roof, you going to let him do it? Basically, what are you saying? So she was just constantly trying to justify how she, that she didn't do anything wrong, blah, blah, blah. It was like neglect. This boy is walking up and down the street trying to get to school because he's so afraid of you. Afraid of me. Well, I am the parent. He should be afraid of me. But come on now, and all this kind of stuff. Anyway, they hauled her butt off to jail for neglect. She in there knocked out. This boy walking around, showing no nothing that's going on. The other babies are just in the living room, just walking around. And there's the little babies on the couch. And it's like, how are you? What's going on? How are you watching these kids if you in here sleep? These babies can't wash themselves. What are you doing? So anyway, she she was hauled off to jail for neglect. The next one was this the school called because there was a little black boy, and he had been, his stepfather spanked him, and it wasn't that so much that the stepfather spanked him, but it was that the stepfather spanked him with an extension cord. Now I'm not gonna lie, I remember when I was young getting my butt tore up with an extension cord. I truly do. But yeah, the stepfather spanked the boy with an extension cord. He had, some webs, some bruises on him, some pretty deep. His back, his neck, his legs, stuff like that. And some of them were pretty deep. And so, they were asking him what happened. Has this happened before? He said it's been a year, I guess, since he got whooped like that, spanked like that. But yeah. So they ended up getting the stepfather. And let me tell y'all, when they put the man in the car, the whole time, the whole ride, all that man talked about was, I just got this job. I just started the job today. We just got this house. Oh my God, now I got to deal with this, and I just started the job. Like, he was upset about that job, which I get. I understand, but the situation was serious. That man only cared about that job. He didn't access the boy, nothing. So then he said, when he was asking him about, what he was being charged for and everything, and he was like, that's a felony. Will this stop me from getting a job? That's gonna stop me from getting a job. And they was like, all this man cares about is this job. He keep asking the cop about job. He was like, I was trying to do this, that, and the other so I can get a job eventually in law enforcement and so on and so forth. They're like, law enforcement. And you abusing a kid, you got to know that you cannot spank a kid with an extension cord, especially to the point where you left bruises and marks, deep cuts on him. And so anyway, they get him down to the police station. They ended up calling mom down too, and she ended up being jailed as well. She was out that same day, but she definitely went to jail because she knew about it. She said, yeah, I knew about it, and she didn't do anything to stop it. She said that the boy had gotten in trouble at school, and so this was them disciplining him, whooping him. And the stepfather was like, all I'm trying to do is raise a kid. That's all I'm trying to do is take care of the family. I'm trying to this, I'm trying to that. Which is understandable, for sure, but there's ways of doing it. Like I said, I do remember, used to get my butt tore up. Man, with extension cord. And I hated it. Like, man. And I, at times, was not a perfect mom either. At how I would discipline. I never believed in spanking my kids, but then as they got older and was just doing some crap, man, I was not the best physically or verbally. Thank God I come up out of that, with my own issues and things like that. But we cannot put our issues and our problems and whatever off on children. It's just not right. So anyway, that was that case. They both ended up, like I said, being charged. They could face jail time, so on and so forth, blah, 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 fines. He was like, we don't have money for this. I just had to get a lawyer. We don't have money for this. And I just got a job. That's messed all that man talking about. So, that's that case. The next case, let me see if I can remember the next one. The next one, the little boy called the police because he thought his mom was dead. She was in the bathroom, on the floor, unresponsive. And so he called the police. Police get there, they calling her, everything else. She's not responding, not answering. They end up having a kick the bathroom door down. When she finally come to, and when they took the door down, there was like residue. You know, you could tell she had been getting high. The evidence was right there. And so it was telling her, you know, listen, you kids, they thought something was wrong with you, and you just in here high. She said she wasn't high. She wasn't doing drugs. She said that she was taking medication. But they was like, this ain't medication. What kind of medication is this? This is drugs. And she was like, no, you know, the minute they told her, well, we're going to have to take you down, and we're going to take you out. You know, we don't want to walk you past your kids in handcuffs. And like, she didn't understand the seriousness of the situation. And then when she got to talking back, he's like, you know what, forget it. He said, I was trying to do a good way, whatever. She got to just be really, you know, flip mouth and all of this. And he's like, I was trying to take you out so your kids wouldn't have to see you. He said, we're going to go this way, da-da-da-da. She's like, why are you taking me down? This is crazy. I'm not on drugs. He said, ma'am. She's like, you're being rude, and I let you in. He said, really? He said, why did we have to kick your door in, then? He said, when they was talking to her, the door was sitting on the couch. They had to kick the door in and then pick the door up and set it on the couch. I was like, dang. He said, you were asleep. They were like, you were asleep the whole time. Mascara, her makeup, everything running. They're like, no, you're on drugs and you're going for neglect. You know, your drugs more important than your children. They out here, you know, just out there. They traumatized because you did something wrong with you. They calling for help for you, and you just on drugs. Okay, so that was one case. Another case was the teenager. She was 15, and she called the police because she was there in the home watching her siblings. There was a baby and a toddler, and she was watching them. There was absolutely no food in the refrigerator or freezer. I think there was a gallon of water, maybe a couple of gallons of water. There was absolutely no food. The air conditioner wasn't working, so it was hot. And she's like, I can't take it anymore. Her intentions was to originally she was just gonna take her brothers and run away. You know, she's like, I can't do this. She said, she has some guys that she's been with, different guys every night for a while. And she's been doing this where she comes home whenever. I'm here with these kids, with my siblings. She said, I can't do it no more, you know. So the cop was going through the house. He opened the refrigerator, opened the freezer. I mean, it was nothing. They was calling her, trying to contact her. I guess DHS or whatever, DCH, whatever you call it. They reached out to her, and so they said what happened was when they would call, she would pick up the phone and start talking like in a different language, nationality, like she don't understand, and then hang up. And so anyway, when she did show up, they were all out there and everything. She was talking about how her car had broke down. It stopped on her. She can't remember what the name of the expressway was. Her phone died. He said, wow. He said, how convenient. Your phone died and the car stopped all at the same time, huh? And she didn't have no way of reaching nobody. He said, how your phone working now? She came home and she charged it up. She got home, she charged it up. He's like, He said, well, you going to jail. She's like, for what? And it was like, neglect. You know, they had took the children and sent the kids to the dad. Because they had asked the little girl, the teenager, you know, what's your dad's information, da-da-da. And she was trying to contact him. I think she, at first, could only reach him by Instagram or something, I forget. But anyway, she got him. And so that's where they went. And they took her to jail. She was crying. He's like, now you want to cry? He's like, these kids been in this house. He was like, there's no food. And then this heat. She said, but I've been trying to call the landlord. Here's all my messages. He said, you don't have no food in that house. It's hot. And where are you at? And apparently you've done this multiple times. You've been doing it. You know, so anyway, they called her off. Now, the last one was the one that had me just like, oh my God. Okay? Whoops. That's the one that had me like, wow. So The last one was this young lady. She had called the police because she couldn't find her mom. Now her mom's car is parked in her sister's driveway. But mom's not picking up, not answering, sister's not answering the door, nothing. She's like, it's been 2 hours. I don't know where my mom is. Well, she's, her car is here, but that's it. I don't know anything else. I haven't heard from her in 2 hours. My sister's not picking up. I don't know what's going on, right? And so apparently, the cop that came out, this is not the first time he's had to come out to the house for this young lady. I guess apparently she has some sort of, a mental thing going on. She has a cute little son. I forget his name, but he probably was no more than about 5 or 6, and a little bright red hair and mixed. The dad is black, mom's white. Now the sister that called, they're half sisters. That girl's dad was not her dad, or vice versa. But I think that's the way it was. And so she's out there with her 2 little kids, one in the stroller, 3 kids. And she had her sister's son, I think. So there was one in the stroller, an older one, and then her sister's son was out there. So it was 3 kids. And so they all standing out there, what's going on? So the cop came out. He said, yeah, he's very familiar with the young lady. Her name is Sarah. And so, because he's been out to the house before. So a couple of months prior, they were called out to the house. The mom called because so when Sarah answered the door, she was wet, and the cop was asking her why she was wet, and she was like, she gave some excuse why she was wet. And so he kept on asking her how things was going. He had already knew what he was called out there for. He let her know why he was called out there for. He was trying to get the information from her. So as they talking, he eventually tells her, so you have a dog, a pet? She was like, yeah. He was like, where's the dog? Like, I don't know. She's like, he ran away or something. And they were like, well, when? She was like, I don't know, I don't remember. And he was like, well, trying to remember. And she's like, I don't know, yesterday or today. He was like, okay. And so he was like, he just kept asking her questions about the dog. But what ended up happening when he got down to the bottom of it with her, what happened was she drowned the dog. She had drowned the dog in the tub. The dog was in the garbage can in a plastic bag. He opened the garbage can and he looked. He said, Sarah. He said, well, why did you lie? You lied to me? She said, yeah. He said, why? She said, because the voices, She drowned the dog. He was like, well, what the dog do? When they took it down to the jail, the questioner, she said the dog in the car, the police car, she said the dog broke her heart. So anyway, it was the mom who had called and reported about the dog. And so the mom, was at the police station, and she thought, she felt like the mom didn't love her. And mom says, I do love you. I will always love you. She said, there's nothing that you can do that will stop me from loving you. She said, remember that. And she gave her a hug and everything, told her, no, I love you. Put her mind at ease and everything. And so that was that, right? Now, here it is 5 months later. Okay, they trying to, get in the home. And so what ended up happening is they ended up I guess calling the dad. He comes out and it was like can you get in the house? He was like, no. They were going around the side. They were trying to open up the windows. One window open, but only so far, so they couldn't get in. So the dad was on the side of the house trying to get the window open as high as he could. And so when he got the window open a little bit, he could see in. And he immediately was like, oh my God. Oh no. And it was like, what? The other sister just started screaming, what? And they were like, what? And he said, she's on the couch and she's laying on the floor or couch or something. He said, and there's blood. And so he's like, oh my God. He just started crying. And so now they're like, oh my God. The cop looks in and they see what's going on. The girl screaming, and they're like, calm down. The other kids are here. You don't want to alarm them. But the kids had already started crying, So he calls in and he gets permission from his supervisor. Can I kick the door in at this point? And they say, yes, go ahead. They kicked the door in. The girl standing there smoking a cigarette. They was like, Sarah, what's going on? She's like, I killed my mom. And then she said, well, when they put her in handcuffs and everything, she said, well, can I finish this cigarette? Can I finish drinking this water? Whatever, blah, blah, blah. They were like, Sarah, put your hand behind your back, da-da-da-da. Well, can I finish? She's like, Sarah, put your hand behind your back, da-da-da-da. And they were like, she's like, I killed my mom. And then she said, well, she's not dead, but she's not dead, though. And so the guy ran in there to check, and her body, he's like, her body's cold. And then the ambulance got there and everything. They was like, no, she's done. She had stabbed her mom 100 and something times. So what they did when they got her to the police station, and they, had to take pictures and everything. She said, well, if y'all gonna take pictures, she said, can I do my hair right quick? They was like, no, I think you don't need to worry about that. Your hair fine. That's the least of what you need to worry about. And she's like, y'all gonna beat me up? Y'all gonna hurt me? This and that. They was like, no, why would we do that? She says, I know that's what y'all gonna do. She says, why would we do that? We're not gonna hurt you. And she says, well, I killed my mom. And so the cop was asking her, why, trying to figure out what's going on, what was the thought process behind it. And she said that he asked her, well, how did you kill her, what did you use? She said a knife. She described the knife and everything, and then she said, and a fire extinguisher. She said that she planned it. She said she had planned it. And when her mom got there, I guess her mom wasn't there long before she attacked her. She stabbed her up 100 sometimes. She sprayed the fire extinguisher fluid inside her mom's mouth. What else did she do? Yeah, she messed her up. And so they were like, why? And she was like, the voices told her to. She says, I keep hearing the voice. She said, y'all don't hear that? She's like, wait, y'all don't hear that? And the lady cop was like, no, I don't hear anything. I hear the fire detector need batteries. That's what I hear. She said, no. She said, you still hear the voice? She said, no, they stopped. She said, come and go. She told the cop the reason why she did it was because the song Eminem and Ice Cube, I forget who it was was Eminem or something, the song where he said Sarah in it. And she was like, he keep calling me, he was telling me to do this and do that and da. So she blamed it, she's hearing the lyrics of the song and him saying her name, and she said that's who told her to do it, and she was really describing this song and what he says and so on and so forth, and it's crazy. She killed her mom, and I think, obviously they had to put her in a mental facility and everything else, which she's gone in mental facility before. But I had a feeling when mom called about that dog, she was gonna get mom then. Because after being in jail for a bit, she wanted her mom to get her out of jail. And she was calling for her mom to get her out, to post her bail, and the mom didn't have it at the time or something. You could hear the conversation it was having, and the girl was getting a little heated with her mom. But eventually the mom did, bail her out. So yeah, I think she probably had planned to kill her mom from that point. She had already, I think, planned to kill her mom. I truly believe that from when that call was made. And they were saying that when the boyfriend, the kid's father, he was in the hospital, and this was some couple of months, I think it was, later, and he came down to give his story as to what happened with the dog. And he said, I'm only telling you what my son told me. And it turns out that he bought the dog for the little boy. And the dog had peed in his little kennel. And that's why she drowned him and killed him. And then she took a knife and she took her son out to the woods. And she told her son that he better not ever tell anybody. He said, this is what my son told me. He said, I don't know if this took place or not. He says, I wasn't there. He said, but this is what my son told me that happened. And I was like, oh my God. Because I was thinking to myself, because the next thing would have been killing her own child. Thank God she didn't. It's horrible, for sure. Don't get me wrong. That she killed her mom, for sure. That's horrible, But, Jesus. I was like, wow. I at that point, I was done watching it. I was like, dang, man, it's so much going on in the world. So much going on. So guys, I put some Comet in this tub. I'm just letting it sit. I'm pouring some cleaning solution, antibacterial as well on it. Putting the Comet in the toilet. I also put in the sink. Getting it all wiped down. And just getting my bathroom in order. I'm gonna throw this away because it's empty. Okay. Now while that sits for a minute, go ahead and put this in the garbage. Wash my hands. Check on my food. I'm sure, yeah, I need to stir it. I was gonna put some onions and bell pepper. Barbecue pulled pork. I figure we have barbecue pulled pork sandwiches. Today there's some cheese in there, bread, and there's some broccoli bites. You can eat with it as like the French fries. So I'm just gonna use a little bit of chili powder. garlic powder. I said that in my Terminator voice. Garlic powder. Chili powder. Down low. Okay. Have some garbage that need to go out. Have an onion. Okay. In the blood, your love in the blood. But I know change is gonna come to a living, but I'm afraid to die. Oh, just like on the sky. Been a long time coming, but I know change is gonna come. Oh yes, yes it will. Do 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 do. rub it. Okay. Put you there. Turn it down. Turn on the oven. But let me just quickly wipe over the oven because Lil cooked some cookies and I'm sure he wastes something. I would honestly be surprised if he didn't. Maybe I'll heat up some cookies later. Okay. Alright. So, my living room, as y'all can see, I have to get the lights for the tree, but I put the tree up over there this year. That's what it is. It is what it is. Put some stuff up over there. Over there. So that's what we got going on. I got little bells hanging everywhere. Okay. Ornaments there. Yep. Sorry guys, I'm just putting a little liquid so I can wipe down. Okay. I'm gonna sweep up in the hallway and in my room in a moment, un momento. And I'm gonna clean that mop. So I'll come back to y'all a little bit later in the evening.